I was thinking a lot about the three graces and how empowering they were as women and how they were used in all kinds of different ways, typically, again, by men who were the main creators of art throughout art history. And so thinking about what those three graces are to me now and what three women together mean now and the power that comes from three women. My name is Shona McAndrew, and I am an artist. I make sculptures and paintings and prints. Behind me is my installation, Just the Three of Us, which is based on memories of my days as a young 20-year-old woman living with my girlfriends and reflecting back on what those days meant. I only moved 12 times in 10 years, which was so much fun. I feel like every time I entered a home, I'd feel immediate anxiety about having to leave within a year. And so I spent a lot of time picturing how would I create a room if it were mine forever, and I could make every decision and not worry about leaving. And so, yes, I think this does have a lot to do with 12 years of not being able to make my mark and make a space feel like my own. This is my own little love letter to me and my desire to have roots and have a place that is truly mine and reflects how I want the world to be, which is bright and colorful and warm and one big forever hug. I always describe it as one unbelievably extensive list, a to-do list with like 30,000 things on it, from sculpting Oreos to sanding M&Ms to painting the books to combing her hair. It's just a nonsense list of tiny tasks that end with the final ones, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm checking off the last check. But it starts with an idea. The concept behind this piece is me reflecting on my time as a young woman and the art I was surrounded by also in those days. I was born and raised in France, and I had the privilege of going to the Louvre and the Musée d'Orsay and all the other big museums. And a lot of the art in there is painted solely by men and is of women, and a very specific kind of representation of women sitting around waiting for a man. And so I wanted to think about what it meant for me to create women and to paint women and to represent women in my life, and what does it mean for me to be surrounded by women without men imposing their own desires of our, existence and how we interact. So this is truly me with my girlfriends. We were messy and we ate anything we wanted to, and we talked about anything we wanted to, especially not men. We have the ability to talk about things other than men. It was just truly just us without being looked at. I like to imagine that visitors feel very warm when they walk in, and I want them to feel like they're here to discover the world. I want them to be able to take pictures of whatever matters most to them. What I find so different from an installation and a painting is I feel like a painting is telling you what's in front of you, but an installation allows you to, in my opinion, walk around and decide for yourself what matters. So I hope people come in, and hopefully someone prefers the coffee table over the figures, and some people prefer the figures over the bookshelf, and whatever matters to them, I'm very excited to see what they see. A young girl came in and saw my installation yesterday and was imagining the narrative around the women, and was trying to figure out why they were messy, but there was coasters under their cans. And I just thought that was so wonderful, because I imagined how she was picturing their story and how they got to be in that moment. And I think without those little objects, they would just be three women in a space. But with them, it does help create a whole story. So I think without the tiny little moments, the little sculptures, I wouldn't feel as connected to this installation. And some of my most comfortable moments in my life have been me alone with my girlfriends, forgetting to think about everything else in the world that is trying to push us down a little bit. And those were very important moments in me becoming me, just creating this moment for them and for me and young me and other young women. It's for all of us.